The official UFC rankings are out, and speaking of a boat, you're swimming in that shirt. I'm Matt Parrino.
I'm Forrest Griffin, and this is my fat shirt. In 5 years, this is the shirt I'll wear. Boom, thinking ahead. Like when you were a kid and your mom would you're so poor, so your mom would, or me anyway, my mom would buy me clothes that were like 2 sizes too big, so I'd grow into them. That's how the poors do it. This is my fat shirt, motherfucker.
All right, the big movement this week, Anthony Showtime Pettis is back. He makes his debut at 145 pounds, takes out Charles Oliveira, and like Forrest likes, takes his spot at number 6. He looked great. In the first round, he almost knocked Oliveira out, but instead he gassed himself out a little bit, survived in the second, and then submitted a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in the third round. Pretty amazing. What do you think about, first of all, taking that spot at number 6?
I like the numbers. That's your area, but I like the numbers. Most importantly, I like this fight. It is his first test at 145, so it's understandable. Maybe the cut wasn't as easy as he expected, and that you would get gassed the first time you fight it in the weight class. The other thing, I liked his confidence in his jiu-jitsu, falling back for that guillotine. I would not do that, but he submitted one of the best jiu-jitsu guys at 145 pounds, and more than that, he survived with him on the ground. He gave up his back. He took chances. He looked great. This could be his weight class.
He's looking for a title fight. You got Jose Aldo, the interim champ, Conor McGregor, the champ. I mean, how big of a factor is he? How big of a dangerous opponent could he be for some of the top guys in this division?
Well, he's pretty dangerous for Cub Swanson, Ricardo Lamas, Max. He's dangerous for anybody at this weight. He's a big guy for 145. He wasn't a small guy for 155. He's still got his quickness. He's got lots of power. What I saw too, is that he can take a shot from a 45er, and it's not a big deal when you've been taking shots from guys like RDA.
Let's move on. Paige VanZant set the internet ablaze on Saturday night. Flying head kick knockout. She moves switch kick 2 spots to number 8 in the strawweight rankings. Pretty good jump, about where you would think that she belongs, behind JoJo Calderwood, Jessica Andrade. Let's start there. Are you happy with her placement now, 4-1 in the UFC?
Yeah, perfect. She's in the perfect spot.
Killers above her, like we said. Andrade is coming off an absolute awesome performance.
Looks great at this weight. I like it.
Exactly. So for PVZ, she set a record on Saturday night. She now has 3 finishes in the UFC. That's the most in strawweight history. It's still a young division, but pretty impressive all the same. A lot of people say that, in the stand-up game against a striker, she could be in trouble, but I mean, with kicks like that, maybe not.
Well, she had a truncated camp coming off the Dancing for the Stars show. However, I have seen progress. You saw her be patient for the first time. You saw her try new things. You saw her try to grow as a fighter. I like it.
Damian Maya in the main event only needed 2 minutes to submit Carlos Condit, coming off of that war with Robbie Lawler. No movement. Maya still at 3, Condit still at 4, and in my opinion, that's the right move. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has taken out Rory McDonald and Johnny Hendricks in his last 2 fights. Very impressive wins, but so was Maya, but he falls behind him, probably next in line. Are you okay with how this thing played out?
I'm okay with everything except the fight itself. I know how Carlos Condit feels. He feels like he didn't even get to fight, It was one takedown, it was a little struggle. I'm sure he wanted to reset and go again. And Maya is one of those, you cannot make one mistake against him, or you're not guaranteed that second round. Like, if he takes you down, you might not get up again until the next bell. It's crazy. That guy is so good. However, if Maya can't finish in 10 minutes, he's exhausted. His style takes a lot of energy. He's pressing, he's moving to pass, he's looking to finish that whole time, and that's a very exhausting top game to play. I thought if Condit could have gotten out of the first round, that it would have been a really good fight after that.
Dana said that Wonderboy is next up. Hasn't been announced yet, but you got Maya out there.
Brian Stan cleared it up for us. He said Wonderboy's next. Maya's gonna wait. I'm comfortable with that.
Okay, so Maya versus Wonderboy, Maya versus Tyron Woodley. What's the better matchup for Damian Maya?
That is tough. Maybe Wonderboy, because I know that Wonderboy his wrestling's gotten great. He looked good against Hendricks. He works out with who's that guy? Weidman all the time. So he's around great wrestling. However, T. Wood wrestled in college. That's his base. I don't know that Maya would be able to take Tyron Woodley down, and I think Woodley wins on the feet.
Quick shout out, Sam Alvey knocked out Kevin Casey. Very impressive. I was impressed. This guy was dragging around 3 kids, a newborn, all week on fight week. His wife got the MVP award of the week, but Sam Melvey called out any 185ers, any 205ers after the fight. Impressive. Keep an eye on him. He's got one vote outside of the top 15 in his division, but I got to keep an eye on. Let's move right along. I don't even want to hear from you on Sam Melvey.
He strives to be exciting, and he succeeds.
Exactly. This weekend, Fight Night Hamburg. There's a bunch of great fights. I'm going to single out one. Alexander Gustafsson takes on Jan Blachowicz. Huge fight for Gustafsson, who, I mean, he's taken on the best in the world, but he's lost his last 3. Needs a big performance. Are we going to see one?
He's the better fighter, for sure. He's got way more tools than, what's the guy's name?
Jan Blachowicz.
He's got way more tools than Blachowicz. Jan was a guy I was high on early, and I think he's actually gotten a little worse or maybe never lived up to his potential. This should be a bounce back win for Gustafsson, but again, it's the UFC. Shit crazy.
What do you think about if we were to have you say names but not actually speak them, and then we'll just put like a recording over? Do you think that would be a fun game we could play?
Jan Blachowicz.
Yes. So insert that there. Alex Gustafsson's fight with
Jan Blachowicz.
As always, go to UFC.com for the complete rankings.
The UFC Rankings Report is brought to you by a generous grant from the Thomas Magnum PI Foundation, supporting private investigators everywhere, and generous donors like you.